Hello and welcome to Cold Outreach Success Stories, where we interview regular business people just like you who've had a lot of success with cold outreach on email and other channels. We go deep into their process with hot tips around targeting, messaging, and personalization so that you can take away some tips to implement in your cold outreach starting tomorrow.
Yes, Gaurav, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, very well. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for hopping on.
Yes, of course. Gaurav, just to kind of understand, is this a session then when you want to get information from me, or is it a session where you want to share something to me? What's the direction of this session?
The direction of this session is to get some more information from you, not just about your use of Salesrobot, but in general about how you acquire new customers. What are the tactics that you've used, partnerships, just to understand your business in more detail and understand how you acquire customers, so that we can build more capabilities inside of the platform that might be of help to you.
I see. And I presume you're more interested into LinkedIn, what we do on LinkedIn versus like a cold calling or other things, correct?
I'm actually interested in everything because what I want to do is understand your customer acquisition more holistically rather than just on the LinkedIn side of things. So whatever you can share about whatever you do to acquire new customers is helpful to me.
Yeah. Okay. So the way we work, we using pretty much all channels. It's a combination of marketing and sales outreach.
Mm-hmm.
The sales outreach is standard using cold calling. So we having access to different platforms that providing lead information like Zoom Info. And based on this, we reaching out and calling people. So even in this mode, we using LinkedIn information because it gives us something about people. Now, when people actually engage, we use CRM and all those things. We do use LinkedIn and technology like Salesrobot to run the campaign to connect with people. But obviously, we use it more like a social connection tool. And we don't like just, let's say, connecting people and telling them, hey guys, how are you? Why don't you buy our technology? We don't do that.
Naturally.
So we connect, like especially my sales team, they connect and they develop relationship. And after that, they asking mostly their permission to introduce, to look at our technology. And then after that, they're asking if they can have appointment to introduce technology. And this is how we're moving it again from LinkedIn to regular like email/call environment. But at the same time, when people, let's say, people not coming to the meetings or things like that, then definitely we using LinkedIn, because in many cases people more responding to LinkedIn to like a call or email. So just telling them, hey, like we have a meeting scheduled. Are you going to join? Or we have a meeting tomorrow. Just want to let know that we're going to meeting tomorrow. So those things definitely are helpful. So like if you can automate something like this, like integration with the calendar, right? And being able to let people know that we have a meetings and things like this, that's definitely helpful, because nowadays it has to be done manually, like meeting reminders, for example.
Correct. Makes sense. I would like to dive a little deeper into your LinkedIn flow. So you mentioned that, of course, you don't want to, connect with someone and tell them immediately, yeah, like buy my stuff, right? You don't want to do that. But then how do you actually convert that initial connection into a potential client later on? Like, what are your approach? What is your approach there?
The approach is pretty simple. So we know who we're connecting with because we're using either Sales Navigator or regular LinkedIn search. So we know title of the people and we know the level of basically their companies and things like this. So we can send them a message and we can tell them like, look, I'm interested in what you're doing. I would really appreciate the opportunity to connect and learn a little bit more what you guys doing. So more like asking them for some kind of level advice or kind of complimenting them for like their achievement or things like this, because people like to be complimented in many cases. Not intensively, but at some level, like you need to respect people that you're connecting with.
Right.
So again, in many cases, it doesn't mean that people would connect 100%, but it usually gives a nice like 20-30% connection rate. So if you're putting the right message there.
Makes sense. When it comes to so one approach is to obviously try to take advice from them. Have you tried also a marketing type of approach where you like try to share a ebook with them about database management or something like that, or no?
This is a much later stage. This is in automation when creating a dripping sequence. And after they connect, you basically syncing them. And you either doing this after you basically the first message after they connected with you. And you can tell them, you know what, I really want to learn about your like environment, or like you kind of hinting, like let's say if it's a security or data, like in our case, it's databases or maybe some other technology. Like, I really want to understand like what you guys doing with this or that, and asking for like very brief time, like 10-15 minutes to speak with them. This way may work, may not, or sometimes you can push one step longer, because like again, it's the first message you just want to acknowledge and maybe ask something more generic or things like this. But it's definitely not the right time, like the first message, to start pushing like collateral, things like this, because they don't know that and they're busy. Like everyone is busy nowadays and everyone has almost no attention span. So yeah, like in general, after they agree maybe to speak with you or something, and then you asking them permission, like you say, no, because it's great conversation or chat and things like this. Or can I like a permission-based marketing, right? Can I send you this piece that we developed? Just would really appreciate having your feedback, something like this. But I don't believe in a blanket approach, like just send message to 1,000 people and see maybe 1% would respond. That's not the right way.
Makes a ton of sense to me. Okay, I think.
But again, just to clarify, we are in a B2B, like a big ticket sale. So maybe there are different strategies of people trying to sell some like low value technology, like $100 or $1,000 technology. Then maybe it makes sense to do more massive approach, because they just don't have time to spend on nurturing the relationship with the customer. The one thing what would help, I think when we're cranking email, right? Right now it's just very basic. I can use a template with the name, last name, first name, some other things. It would be helpful to have some ability to have like more intelligent tags, like add some information about the company where this person works with, right? And I've seen some applications nowadays that they can create, they're using like very basic chat GPT, like 3.5, and they trying to create some basic emails that also includes like, hey, like oh, looks like you, like, I really appreciate what you're doing in XYZ and your challenges running operations. So they're using basically the title of the person and the company where he works and the information about this company to create some like more personalized email. Um, it's interesting effort. I think it has a merit. The problem is when, and this is a problem in general with ChatGPT, it is too long. All these messages, people just don't read this stuff.
Right.
Especially on LinkedIn. You need to create something very short. It has to be just a couple lines. Otherwise, people would not read it.
Right. Right. No, I hear you. I hear you. So in terms of your usage with Salesrobot, what would you like us to work on next? Like what would really benefit you?
Oh, that's a good question. I like your tool in general. I think this is a good tool. It has a good potential. Um, I would say what I just mentioned, because from my perspective, we get our own templates, right? And um, I would say understanding based on the audience that you've been provided, like either with Sales Navigator or like LinkedIn search, what would be the best approach? Like there is like a literally like a patterns, like when it's a best time to send, let's say, emails to people, best time to send them messages. What basically specific approach works better with like senior IT decision makers versus senior finance decision makers, to give it a little bit more understanding of, based on the title of people, basically what should be communicated with them. So trying again, not just maybe not personalized per se for the person, but more start speaking with the language of their industry.
Right.
Yep. And this is more, I think this is like more like utilizing technology like either ChatGPT or similar technologies, but not in the way people use it today, not generating those huge emails with just how you're doing today and things like this.
So I understand. I understand what you're trying to get at. It's more of language, the language that they speak, the pain points that they have,
Exactly, the industry knowledge, exactly. The industry knowledge that helps to create communication, speaking the same language that they speak. Because if we're just sending generic message, or we're sending something just complimenting them for their achievements, and so the people understand, so generic, they kind of say, you know what, that's something that they just sending to everyone, and I'm too busy to even answering to this stuff.
Right, right. I agree. I agree. So I do see some good application of ChatGPT there, but in a very limited way, not like exactly like you said, you should not be generating long messages. But the challenge with ChatGPT is how do you constrain it? Obviously, it's smart to some degree, right? Like it's not a stupid tool. It's smart to
Yeah.
some degree. So how do you prompt it the right way to generate like short 1-2 sentence emails that are also very targeted, right? Like with the pain points that these people face, as well as having a clear ask, right, within those 2 sentences.
Exactly. And again, the understanding that this ask needs to be able to, like, it's a part of the sequence. It's not just people should not expect getting something from like the first message or even second message.
Right.
It's a process when they need to develop relationship, and only after that they can expect people to actually do something for them.
Right, right, right. So the relationship building phase and then going into a, ask
Like
phase.
gentle introduction of the product, and then actual ask to do something, like it maybe review the document, it maybe have a brief meeting just to get their input about what we do, and only after that is okay, we have this great meeting, what's the process to introduce something like that to your environment, right?
Right, right. Interesting. Makes a ton of sense. Okay, so those are all the questions I had, Ron. I think this has been very interesting for me. So thanks for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. I like your product, guys. So wish you lots of good luck.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Take care now. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So that's all the time we have, folks. I really enjoyed the episode. I hope you did too. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever you can to spread the word out about cold outreach success stories so more people can enjoy and learn from the show. All right. That's all, folks. Bye-bye.